Close your eyes for a moment. Can you hear it? The static hum of a television warming up, the metallic click of a rotary phone, the rustle of newspaper pages on a Sunday morning. These aren't just sounds. They're the soundtrack of a world that shaped us, then quietly slipped away. Get ready to rediscover a time that once was, and perhaps understand what we gained and what we lost along the way. Number 1. Television's rabbit ears and RF modulators. There was an art to watching television back then. You'd stand there, one hand on those wire rabbit ears, twisting, adjusting, sometimes wrapping them in crinkled aluminum foil that caught the afternoon light. Your family would shout from the couch, "There! Right there! Don't move!" And you wouldn't. You'd stand perfectly still, arm aching, because that was the price of a clear picture. For the truly dedicated, a massive antenna crowned the rooftop like a metal weather vane, a neighborhood beacon of someone who really wanted to watch TV. Then there was the RF modulator, that mysterious little box that somehow made VHS tapes work. We didn't understand it, we just knew it mattered. And when the picture went fuzzy or rolled, we'd slap the side of that wooden cabinet with practiced confidence. Thwack. Like magic, the image steadied. Today's sleek screens appear with a whisper and a glow. No antennas, no slapping, no standing perfectly still while dinner gets cold. We gained convenience, but maybe we lost something too. That small sense of victory when the picture finally came through clear. Number 2. Smoking everywhere. Step back into 1982. Walk into a restaurant. The first thing that hits you isn't the smell of food. It's cigarette smoke, hanging in the air like morning fog. It's in the grocery store, the office, even on airplanes, where ashtrays are built into every armrest like cup holders. Imagine, you're 30,000 feet in the air and the pilot lights up in the cockpit. Nobody questions it. It's just Tuesday. Back then, smoke was part of the scenery. The waitress at the diner held a coffee pot in one hand, a cigarette in the other. Your co-worker's desk had an overflowing ashtray next to the typewriter. It was everywhere, and it was normal. Then science spoke louder than habit. Studies piled up. Public health campaigns flickered across TV screens. And slowly, deliberately, the smoke cleared. Today, smokers huddle outside in designated spots, rain or shine. The air inside is clean. Progress, yes. But for those who lived through it, the change feels like watching a whole world exhale and never breathe the same way again. Number 3. Milk cartons with missing children. Pour yourself a bowl of cereal on a Tuesday morning in 1985. You reach for the milk carton, cardboard, cold, slightly damp. And there, staring back at you, is a child's face, black and white, serious eyes. Have you seen me? You'd sit there, spoon halfway to your mouth, studying those features, wondering, worrying, hoping someone somewhere recognized that smile. It was haunting. It was brilliant. It was heartbreaking. Before the internet, before Amber Alerts buzzing on every phone, there were just milk cartons and breakfast tables, and the quiet hope that awareness might bring someone home. Did it work? Sometimes. Not always. But for one generation, it's impossible to separate milk from the memory of those faces, a reminder that even ordinary moments carried the weight of other people's tragedies. We still search for missing children. We just don't do it over corn flakes anymore. Number 4. Leaded gasoline and the 55 miles per hour speed limit. Picture this. A full tank of gas for under $10. You'd pull into a service station and a smiling attendant in a uniform would jog out. He'd pump your gas, check your oil, squeegee your windshield until it gleamed. You barely had to roll down the window. But that gas? It was poisoned. Leaded fuel hung in the air, settled in the soil, seeped into children's bloodstreams. We didn't know, or didn't want to know, until the evidence became undeniable. When we finally phased it out, the air got cleaner, kids got healthier, the invisible poison lifted, and the 55 miles per hour speed limit, that crawling, maddening rule born from the fuel crisis, when it was finally lifted in the 80s and 90s, it felt like the country itself took a deep breath and floored it. We learned something important in those years. Sometimes slowing down saves lives. And sometimes, letting go and moving forward does too. Number 5. Saturday morning cartoons and TV guides. Saturday morning had a sacred rhythm. You'd wake before your parents, tiptoe to the living room in your pajamas, and pour a bowl of cereal so sugary it could double as dessert. Then you'd settle in, cross-legged on the carpet, inches from the glowing screen. The cartoons came in waves, colorful, loud, magical, and you had to be there, right then, because if you missed it, it was gone forever. No pause button, no rewind, no "I'll watch it later." The TV guide was your Bible. You'd circle your shows in pen, plan your entire morning around 4-hour blocks of animation. Missing an episode felt like missing Christmas. There was something about that waiting, that anticipation, that made it matter more. Today, we can watch anything, anytime, on any device. We've gained infinite choice, but maybe we lost the magic of must-see moments. The kind you talk about with your friends on Monday, breathless, because you all saw the same thing at the same time. Convenience is wonderful, but it rarely feels sacred. Number 6. Rotary Phones. The rotary phone was a lesson in patience. You'd slip your finger into the dial, pull it around to the stop, and wait for it to slowly spin back. Tick, 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 tick. Each number was a small commitment. Misdialing meant starting over. The cord was a beast of its own. Stretched and twisted into impossible knots, it trailed you around the kitchen like an umbilical cord connecting you to the wall. And phone numbers? You knew them. Your best friend, your grandma, the pizza place. They lived in your memory because they had to. When push-button phones arrived, it felt like the future. Cordless phones, pure freedom. But smartphones? They didn't just change communication, they changed us. Now our phones hold our calendars, our photos, our entire lives. We carry the world in our pockets, but sometimes late at night, scrolling mindlessly, don't you miss the simplicity of a call that was just a call? The rotary phone made you slow down, made you think, made every conversation feel intentional. Maybe progress isn't always about speed. Number 7. Newspapers. Thud. That sound, the newspaper hitting the front step, was the sound of morning arriving. You'd shuffle outside in slippers, coffee in hand, and retrieve that thick bundle. The paper still smelled like ink. The pages felt substantial, real. Sunday mornings meant spreading the entire paper across the kitchen table. Dad read the news. Mom clipped coupons. Kids fought over the comics. Everyone had their section, their ritual. For a lot of kids, delivering papers was their first job. Riding bikes in the pre-dawn chill, learning the weight of responsibility, and a few dollars earned. Then screens arrived. News became instant, infinite, scrolling. We gained immediacy, but we lost something tactile, the pleasure of holding the news in your hands, of choosing what to read instead of being fed what an algorithm thinks we want. The newspaper wasn't just information, it was a shared experience, a morning ceremony. And you can't quite wrap a smartphone around a fish, can you? Number 8. The Space Shuttle. Look up at the sky. In the 1980s, it felt closer than it does now. NASA's Space Shuttle program made the impossible look routine. We watched launches on boxy televisions in school cafeterias, our necks craned toward the screen as the countdown echoed 10, 9, 8. When they chose Krista McAuliffe, a teacher, an ordinary person, to fly on the Challenger, it felt like the future was opening its doors to all of us. Then, on a cold January morning in 1986, everything changed. 73 seconds after liftoff, the Challenger exploded. We watched it happen, live. The smoke trails forking in the blue sky like a terrible, frozen scream. The dream didn't die that day, but it grew up, got quieter, more careful. The shuttle program continued for 25 more years, achieving extraordinary things, but when it ended in 2011, it felt like closing a chapter. Today, private companies are reaching for the stars again. Maybe one day, ordinary people will fly. But for those who watch the Challenger fall, the sky will always hold that memory, a reminder that wonder and loss often walk hand in hand. Number 9. Chickenpox Parties. It sounds unthinkable now, but it was normal then. Your neighbor's kid got chickenpox, and instead of avoiding them, parents would deliberately bring their children over. Better to get it now, they'd say, while they're young. And so you'd play with the sick kid, sharing toys and snacks, waiting for the itchy red spots to appear on your own skin. It wasn't cruelty, it was a kind of folk wisdom born from an era before vaccines. Most kids recovered fine, but not all. Some got really sick. Some were left with scars. When the chickenpox vaccine arrived in the 1990s, those parties vanished almost overnight. We traded risk for science, uncertainty for safety. It's one of those moments where progress is undeniable. We don't miss chickenpox parties because there's nothing to miss, only something we're grateful we no longer have to do. Number 10. Being bored. Here's something strange to say out loud. We used to be bored. Really, truly, deeply bored. Sitting in the back seat on a long car ride, staring out the window at telephone poles blurring past, waiting at the DMV with nothing but a water-stained magazine from 1987, tagging along on errands, standing in the cereal aisle, contemplating existence. No phone to scroll, no game to play, no escape. Just you and your thoughts. And in that vast, uncomfortable space, something happened. Your mind wandered. You invented stories. You noticed things. You daydreamed entire worlds into existence. Boredom was the soil where creativity grew. Now we have infinite entertainment in our pockets. We're never alone with our thoughts because we're never truly alone. We gained constant stimulation, but we lost that quiet space where ideas bloom, where imagination stretches, where we learn to be comfortable with ourselves. Sometimes, the most important moments happen when nothing is happening at all. Number 11. Carpet Fresh and Potpourri. Step into an 80s living room on cleaning day. First, you'd sprinkle Carpet Fresh across the floor. That powdery stuff that promised freshness but mostly just made everything smell vaguely of fake flowers. Then you'd vacuum, praying the bag wouldn't explode in a dust storm like it did last time. In the bathroom, decorative soaps sat in a dish, shaped like seashells or roses, too pretty to ever use. They'd sit there for years, slowly fading, ornamental. And potpourri. Oh, the potpourri. Dried flowers and spices in wicker baskets, filling the house with a scent that can only be described as somebody's grandmother's house. Today, we have sleek diffusers and air purifiers that don't involve dust or dried petals. But there was something charming about those rituals. The care people took to make their homes smell welcoming, even if the methods were a little unusual. It wasn't just about fragrance, it was about pride, about making a house feel like home. Number 12. Wooden console TVs and metal trays. The wooden console television was less an appliance and more a piece of furniture, massive, immovable, commanding the entire living room. It took 2 adults to move it. It had fake wood paneling and chunky dials. And when you turned it on, it didn't just light up, it warmed up, humming to life like a small engine. Dinner happened on metal TV trays in front of that glowing box, folding legs, floral patterns, slight wobble. You'd balance your plate, your drink, your attention between the food and the screen. And for the futuristic household, there was the clapper. Clap on, clap off. It sounds silly now. But back then, turning off lights with a clap felt like living in the Jetsons. That living room, with its heavy TV, its metal trays, its clap-activated lights, was where families gathered, where we watched together, ate together, laughed together. Today's sleek screens are smarter, sharper, lighter, but they don't anchor a room the way those wooden consoles did. Maybe that's okay. Or maybe something about gathering around a giant glowing box brought us a little closer. Number 13. Brass, ceramics, and macramé. The 1980s home had personality, loud, proud, and impossible to miss. Brass everything. Lamps, candlesticks, picture frames, all gleaming with that warm, golden shine. Of course, it required constant polishing to keep that shine, turning every surface into a weekly chore. Ceramic figurines lined the shelves, angels, animals, hand-painted treasures from craft fairs. People made things with their hands back then, displayed them with pride. And macramé, plant hangers, wall art, owls, all those intricate knots creating bohemian charm in every room. It wasn't minimal, it wasn't sleek, but it was theirs. People personalized their spaces with craft and care, not just catalog orders. Homes felt lived in, unique, full of stories. Today's aesthetic leans clean and simple, but sometimes don't you miss a world where homes had a little more character, even if that character involved polishing brass every Sunday? Number 14. Hostess Ding-Dongs and ShowBiz Pizza. Lunchtime in the 80s meant one thing: ding-dongs. You'd unwrap that foil, revealing a perfect chocolate disc with cream filling. It was pure sugar, pure joy, pure childhood in every bite. And for the ultimate celebration, ShowBiz Pizza. Animatronic animals playing instruments on a neon-lit stage. Arcade games beeping and flashing. The greasy, perfect smell of pizza and childhood excitement. You'd clutch your tokens like treasure, race between games, and watch the Rockafire Explosion Band perform with wide eyes and an even wider smile. It was loud, it was chaotic, it was absolutely magical. Today's entertainment is smoother, safer, more sophisticated. But there was something beautifully unpolished about ShowBiz Pizza. Something that let kids be kids without anyone worrying whether it was educational or enriching. Sometimes joy doesn't need a purpose. Sometimes it just needs tokens and pizza and a mechanical bear playing the drums. Number 15. Erasable pens, Epilady, and 1-800 numbers. The 80s taught us an important lesson. Not every innovation is an improvement. Erasable pens promised perfection but delivered smudges, tears, and frustration. The Epilady hair remover delivered smooth skin, along with the kind of pain that made you question all your life choices. And those 1-800 commercials during Saturday morning cartoons? Call now and talk to your favorite characters, they'd promise. Kids would call, mesmerized. Parents would open the phone bill weeks later, stunned. It was an era of clever marketing and hard-learned lessons. We believed because we wanted to believe. We tried things because they promised to make life easier, better, smoother. Some innovations delivered, many didn't. But that's how progress works. Messy, imperfect, full of mistakes that teach us to look closer, ask questions, and maybe not trust everything we see on TV. So here we are, at the end of our journey. Did any of these memories touch something in you? A smile, a sigh, maybe even a small ache for something you didn't realize you missed? The 1980s weren't perfect, but they were ours. They were real. They were a time when life moved a little slower, when boredom was possible, when connecting meant effort and entertainment meant waiting. We've gained so much since then: convenience, safety, knowledge. But in gaining, we've also let go of patience, of shared rituals, of that quiet space where imagination lives. Maybe that's just how time works. We can't hold on to everything, but we can remember. We can honor what was, and we can carry the best parts forward: the wonder, the warmth, the willingness to find joy in simple things. Thank you for taking this journey with me. If this sparked something in you, share your favorite memory from the 80s in the comments. Let's keep these stories alive together. And remember, the past isn't just something we lost. It's something we carry in our hearts, in our habits, in the way we see the world. Until next time, keep looking back with gratitude and forward with hope.